Eve, where are you? I've rang the doorbell so many times, but you haven't answered the door yet. Don't tell me you're out. Are you playing around again? I'm not at home right now. I have plans with Hector today. Wait a minute. Are you at our house right now? I don't remember making plans with you today. Is something wrong? No, everything's fine. I just decided I might come over and check on you. I arranged my schedule and made some time just for you, but look. You're out having the time of your life. I was hoping you would welcome me as soon as I rang the doorbell. When are you coming home? Hurry up, chop chop. I'm sorry if I made you feel upset. I hope you could tell me beforehand next time. I'm actually visiting a theme park with Hector right now, so I don't think I'll be home anytime soon. It's a one-day pass. We don't want to waste money, do we? We'll probably be on our way home by noon. You could go home if you want. I don't want to keep you waiting. Oh, you're visiting a theme park? How luxurious. Who do you think earns the money for you? My son. But you're visiting the theme park without him? I feel so sorry for him. How inconsiderate can you be? My husband doesn't like the heat. He really hates hot places and walking around under the sun, which means he also hates going to theme parks. I think you know this already. That's why we didn't come with him. We invited him, of course, but he said no. He told us to go and have fun with just the two of us, mother and son. Oh, my son has such a kind heart. I doubt if you really deserve to be his wife. I bet he's working really hard in his office right now while you're playing at the theme park. How can you have fun while your husband is suffering from a heavy workload? How kind can he be to allow you and your son to go out and play when he has work? Oh, my son is too kind sometimes. Yes, he is really kind. I'm so lucky to have him as my husband. I've never met someone kinder than him. He's a great father and husband. I assume Hector is having his summer break, yes? Back in the old days, I remember helping my family when I was on summer break. I barely had time to rest. Are you making him study? Don't tell me he's been playing games and going out every day. He should be studying and preparing for his entrance exams before it's too late. I've heard about so many students who regret not studying earlier. Yes, he's also studying. He's a very responsible boy. You should be proud of him. But he has to take breaks occasionally or he'll be stressed out. Having too much stress leads to shorter concentration spans and inefficiency. Occasionally? I don't think so. You're taking him out to play more than that. He's basically doing whatever he wants every single day. Can't you take better care of your son? I honestly can't believe you call yourself a mother. I bet he's playing soccer all day long in the fields. What's the point of letting your son play sports more than necessary? Are you trying to make him a professional athlete? Don't be ridiculous. I'm not being ridiculous. I just want to be a supportive parent. He's really motivated and enjoys playing soccer. He might dream to become a professional soccer player in the future. But he also promised me to study every day when he comes back from practice. He knows how important studying is. He's actually pretty smart, you know. Oh, really? My son used to study 3 hours a day when he was that age. Let me tell you, homework is clearly not enough to build knowledge. He has to study on his own, right? It's important to review the material, but also to study about new topics beforehand. My son did exactly that when he was a student, and he always got the top scores at school. Hasn't he told you that? I guess he's being humble. Is Hector doing the same? I bet my son taught him to do so. No, not exactly the same. I do admit that my husband was very hard-working, but that's a heavy workload. I don't want to pressure Hector too much. He's doing his best. I think that's what's more important. Do you know what's the most important? The result. The outcome is the most important, okay? There's no point if you can't achieve anything. That might be true, but Hector is still an elementary school student. I think it's important for him to have fun and try out many things. I want him to try doing anything he's interested in and curious about. He might find what he really wants to do or study in the future. I don't want to take away such a valuable opportunity. He really enjoys playing soccer, and his coach told us he's very talented as well. He has skill and talent. I think it's worth giving it a try. Listen, children have to start studying from an early age so that studying becomes a habit. It'll help them in the future, I guarantee that. The more knowledge, the better. Hector told us he wants to pursue a career as a professional soccer player, so he's practicing very hard every day. His coach is very supportive of his dream. Both my husband and I want to be supportive of his dream as well. If he's taking it seriously, we should also trust him and give him the best support we can as parents. We'll also encourage him to study so that he'll have different options to choose from if it becomes difficult for him to pursue a career as a professional soccer player. But I think he has the potential to become a pro. Oh no, I cannot believe it. You're choosing sports over study? The chances of becoming a pro is so low, I can't believe how you think it's best for him to give it a try when you know it's nearly impossible. Hector seems a bit reckless. I guess it's in his genes, very similar to his mother. Maybe. He's definitely my child. I used to be very athletic too. My husband relies on his brain, while I usually rely on my muscles more. To be honest, I've always wondered if Hector was actually my son's child. He doesn't seem to resemble his father at all. Something feels off. What? Hector is clearly our child. Don't be ridiculous. What kind of joke is that? It's not funny. Hector is our child. Nothing can change that. You visited us at the hospital when I gave birth. But I wonder, is he really my son's child? You're the one who was pregnant. We never know who the father is. Hector doesn't look like my son at all, and his personality also doesn't resemble him at all. If he was really his son, he should have more similarities with his father, don't you think? He looks exactly like you, has your eyes, nose, lips. He would have looked more handsome if he resembled his father. I feel sorry for him. Don't be so mean. I'm not that ugly. My husband might be handsome, but I shouldn't be that bad either. And many people have told us that Hector looks like his father, so I don't think he has similar facial features as me. I thought you said so too when you saw him at the hospital for the first time. He hasn't changed much, in my opinion. I thought he resembled his father when he was just a baby. He looked exactly like my son when he was a baby. I was so excited about how handsome my grandchild might be in the future. But look, day by day, he started resembling you. I was scared to meet him because he always looks more like you compared to when I saw him last time. My son has been a smart child since he was little. He was always the top-scoring student at school, and everyone looked up to him. On the other hand, your son only excels in physical education. Didn't he fail in some of the subjects? My son always got 100 on his tests. It's true that he's exceptionally good at sports. He might not score 100 on all his tests, but he certainly gets an A+ for physical education. I think it really depends on the child. Everyone has their own strengths and weaknesses. Everyone is talented in a different way, and Hector is talented in the athletics field. I don't think this is a bad thing. I like to take things positively, and I'm glad my son was able to find something he really wants to pursue. It can be quite difficult to discover what your passion is. Hector can start studying from now. It's not too late. He has plenty of time until his entrance exams. He might even get a sports scholarship in the future. We shouldn't be stressed out too much yet. Oh my, how can you be so carefree? Time is limited. Considering Hector's low test scores, he really has to start studying from now or he won't make it in time. He'll be the one who'll suffer in the future. If you're so carefree and unserious about his studies, your son will have to pay the price when he gets older. It's your responsibility to educate your child. You have to look after him and guide him so that he wouldn't have to suffer in the future. Do what's best for your son, okay? You don't want him to have a hard time when he gets older, do you? You should start taking this seriously. You might ruin his life. I hope you realize the importance of studying before it's too late. I'm taking it very seriously. I'm his mother, of course. I wish the best for him. I'm planning ahead, and after having discussions with my husband and son, we decided that it was best for him to prioritize soccer practice. I want him to do what he wants in life. If he wants to become a soccer player, that's my goal too. The best we could do is make an environment where he can fully focus to achieve his goal.
What are you saying? Stop with all the nonsense. I really can't understand what you're thinking. You definitely did not consult my son, did you? He would never have approved of such a stupid education plan. He knows how important studying is.
As I told you, I had multiple discussions with my husband about it, and we all came to the conclusion that it was best to focus on his strengths. We both think that's the most efficient way. What we value the most is how hard he worked towards his goal, whether that's related to sports or studying.
Are you sure my son said that? I bet he's just trying to make you feel good by agreeing to what you say. He definitely disagrees inside. He knows how important it is to study. He should be aware that he's able to be in his position today thanks to all the hard work and devotion.
But he told me he regrets how he spent his childhood just studying. He said he should have tried out many different things to find out what his interests were. He told me he really wanted to try playing many different sports because he rarely had the opportunity to go out and play.
Excuse me, what did you say? Are you insulting me right now? Are you criticizing how I educated my son? How dare you? You're saying that because I made him study all the time, took away valuable opportunities for him to go out and play sports, my son regrets his childhood? You're trying to tell me that it's all my fault that my son wasted his childhood, correct?
No, that's not what I'm trying to say. Let me clear things up.
No, that's what you're thinking deep down. You don't like me. You hate me for my stupid educational views. Talent, strength, don't be ridiculous. You're just spoiling your child, telling him to just do whatever he wants. If he doesn't want to study, you won't force him to because you think that's best for him when it's clearly not. You're definitely making a mistake in the way you're educating your child. You'll regret this very soon, I know it. I can imagine you begging for my help. Your family will come across a huge problem in the near future, and then you'll finally realize your mistakes.
I'll be careful so that my family won't be like that. Thanks for your advice. By the way, you told me you visited our house. Have you gone home now? Please do so if you're still waiting. Why did you visit us without telling us beforehand? I would have served you a cup of tea if I knew you were coming.
Why would anyone be waiting outside for so long? I called a cab a while ago and I'm already home. I completely forgot to tell you this, but I visited to share with you some food. Well, it's a pity because none of you were at home. How sad.
Oh, I see. Oh, thank you for your consideration. And I'm very sorry I wasn't able to greet you at the door. Please come by again next time. If you can contact us beforehand, I'll make sure to be at home when you visit.
Oh, don't worry. You don't have to apologize. I left the food by the door, so make sure you give it a taste when you get home.
Really? You left them on our porch? I don't intend to be rude or anything, but may I ask what you brought us? It might go bad before we get home, depending on what you brought us.
I brought you some fish. It tastes wonderful whether you eat it raw or cooked.
What? Wait a minute. You brought us raw fish and just left them on our porch?
Yes, but it's packed in a bag, so don't worry. I wouldn't just leave it bare on the porch. Some fresh mackerels were on sale at the local market, so I bought a bunch of them. I've never seen them so cheap. And it gets cheaper the more you buy it, so I had no other choice but to buy them. I can't miss such a wonderful opportunity. I remembered you telling me that you enjoyed eating fish, so I decided to share some of them with you. I wouldn't have been able to finish all of them.
I do like fish, but I don't think that's the best idea. Let me double check. Did you leave some raw fish by our door on a scorching hot day? I don't think that's a good idea. I think they'll go bad by the time we get home. I don't want to waste food, but we'll get sick if we eat them.
Oh, really? Do you think they'll go bad? Oh, that's a shame. I'm sorry, I thought you would come home soon. I guessed they wouldn't go bad if they were kept there for just a small amount of time. Who knew that you were visiting a theme park? You're the one who should have told me beforehand about your schedule.
And you said earlier that they're packed in a bag. May I ask what kind of bag? They might survive the heat if it's cooled inside the bag.
Oh, I put them in a plastic bag. I closed the lid so that it won't get dirty.
A plastic bag? Okay. Are they just in a single bag, or did you use several bags, to prevent leaking and everything?
I just put them directly into a single bag. One bag is enough, isn't it? I hung the bag on the bike that was parked in front of the porch. It's hung vertically, so nothing should drop out.
Just a simple plastic bag. Got it. I would have preferred it if you'd used multiple bags.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you angry, and it's also good for the environment to use less bags, no? I just wanted you and your family to enjoy some nice fish. It was all out of kindness. Please do understand that.
Yes, I'm very thankful for that. You're very kind, but we won't be home by noon. We can't just head home now. Today's a very hot day, so I think it'll go bad by the time we get home. I really appreciate that you got them for us, but I think I'll have to dispose of them when we get home. I hope you understand.
Oh, I understand. We have no other choice. Although I can't deny that I'm a bit disappointed. Go on, don't worry about me, and just get rid of them.
Okay.
The smell must be overwhelming when you get home. Fish goes bad quickly. It must stink a lot. Maybe you'll find a group of flies flying around your door, or even worse. Uh-oh. Oh no, it gives me shivers just by thinking about it. Good luck on cleaning up the mess.
Yes. Thank you for stopping by. Hopefully I'll try to get your gifts next time.
Hey, excuse me. How are you going to explain about your son's bad behaviors? Are you educating him properly?
What's wrong? Did he do anything to you?
He pushed me so hard I fell down. Now I'm injured. How are you going to take responsibility? How dare he hurt his own grandmother, that wicked boy!
Huh? Did Hector really do that? Can you tell me what happened in detail?
I just visited your house to share with you some of my cooking. I cooked more than I can finish, so I thought I might share them with you. Then it turns out that you're out shopping for groceries, so I asked Hector to let me in.
Okay, and what made Hector push you and get you injured?
It was so sudden, I have no idea why.
He pushed you suddenly?
I was just putting the meals in the fridge so it wouldn't go bad. Once Hector saw me doing that, he suddenly started making a tantrum and shouted at me to leave. He told me to bring home my cooking as well. Then he dragged me to the door and kicked me out. I can't believe what just happened. Such a mean child. I am very sorry about that. Now I'm hurting all over. I'm scraped all over the place. I cannot believe how mean my grandson grew up to be. Are you sure you're teaching him manners? He has absolutely no manners.
I'll make sure to talk to him about this. I think he has his own reasons. Let me discuss it with him. As his mother, I am confident that he is a very kind boy.
But he hurt me, and that's an undeniable fact. It's all because you're not educating him properly. Make sure to teach him some lessons. Reprimand him when you get home. And make sure to bring him to me. He must apologize for what he's done to me.
Yes, I'll talk to him when I get home. I'm very sorry about your injury. About the apology, could you please wait a moment?
Oh, you're spoiling your child too much. I am very worried about his future. I bet he's going to be a very rude and mean adult. Look at his mother. It's no wonder he's like this. You're the reason why he grew up to be a wicked child.
I'm really sorry. I'll talk to him about it. I'll be home right away to have a chat with Hector.
Yes, you should. Tell him his grandmother is very hurt. Tell him until he understands his mistakes. Eve, can I talk to you for a moment?
I'm sorry, I'm a bit busy right now. Can we talk again later?
Busy? Why? What's going on?
We can't find Hector anywhere. He hasn't replied to our messages for hours now, and he's not coming home at all.
Oh, your son? I'm teaching him a lesson right now.
He's with you?
Yes, he's at my house right now.
Good to hear that, but what do you mean by teaching him a lesson?
You know what happened yesterday. So, I thought I might teach him a lesson directly. I didn't want him to be a criminal in the future. We can't just let him be rude like that.
What? What are you doing to him?
Oh, nothing much. Just made him stand for a few hours. And gave him some whips when he complained or tried to escape.
Excuse me? Wait a minute. Are you
punishing him? Please stop. He's still 7. How can you be so harsh on him? Life is not easy. He has to learn his lesson. Until he admits that he made a mistake. After making him stand, I locked him in a dark room to reflect on himself. But he kept on crying like a baby in there. Now he's quiet, so I guess he finally realized his mistakes. How can you be so mean to him? Say your prayers now, you wicked mother-in-law. You can't just punish him like this just because you hate me and my son. What did you just say? Did you call me wicked? Answer me, did you just call me wicked? Yes, so what? I can't believe it. You just called your mother-in-law wicked. Now it's clear that Hector took after your evil traits. About yesterday, my son was not just being mean to you when he kicked you out of the house. I talked to him, and I now know that it was all your fault. What? Are you blaming me? Yes. What did I do? I just visited your house to share with you some of my cooking. The meals you brought yesterday, I heard that they all included what I'm allergic to. Salads with nuts, cakes with nuts. My son told me that they all had nuts in them, but is it true? Well, yes, but I didn't know you were allergic to nuts. You know I'm allergic to nuts. I've told you so many times. My husband has also been telling you that. There is no way you didn't know. You brought them on purpose, am I right? I don't know. I don't remember. I must have forgotten. I'm getting old. There was a time I fainted in front of Hector when I accidentally ate something with nuts inside. My allergy is deadly. I could die if I consume them. That's why Hector got angry yesterday and forced you to leave. Are you trying to justify violence? He could have just told me kindly about your allergy. I'm sorry he got a bit violent with you, but I bet he felt like you had evil purposes. Evil? What, are you trying to say I'm doing these things on purpose? Let me ask you a question. If you're not trying to be mean on purpose, what are your intentions? I know you're being mean because you hate me. When was I ever mean to you? I did everything out of good intentions. Why do both you and your son have twisted personalities? Ugh! You always pretend like you have good intentions. How are you going to explain about the fish you brought the other day? What about the fish? I brought them to you out of kindness. I wanted you both to eat good food. I don't understand how someone can just leave some fish in a plastic bag outside on a steaming hot day. Everyone knows they're going to go bad in a few minutes. It's nothing surprising. Can you imagine how hard it was to clean up the mess? The smell was so awful, bugs crawled all over, and I was crying while I cleaned the mess. My son couldn't believe what he was seeing. It's your fault for not coming home early. I didn't do anything wrong. If no one was at home, people usually bring it home. It's common sense. No one would just leave them to rot in the sun. It was blazing hot. Then I must be abnormal. Okay, you want me to apologize? Sure, I'm sorry. No, that's not the point. I know you're abnormal. That's pretty clear. You were just being evil when you brought the fish and left them in front of the door. You've been mean to me countless times in the past, sometimes even worse than this. My son knows that too, and that's why he kicked you out of the house. He thought I might get in danger if you stayed there longer. He was trying to protect me. You're trying to make me the villain here. I shouldn't have agreed to letting you marry my precious son. I don't like you. I don't like your son. I hate you both. I don't care if you hate me. I don't care if you're mean to me. But I don't want someone like you who enjoys being mean to others to badmouth my son. I am proud of my son, and I love him. You enjoy being mean to others and seeing people in agony. You're evil. That's why I called you a wicked mother-in-law. How dare you? How can you look down on your mother-in-law like that? That's why I think you're not suitable for my precious son. Look at your son, too. Both you and your son are wicked, in my opinion. Reflect on your own actions before you call us wicked. You kidnapped my son and hurt him. I bet you had so much fun seeing my son in pain. Do you realize what you did is a crime? You're a criminal. Why do you think I had fun punishing your son? I did it for his own good. He has to learn some manners. And I'm his relative. Taking him to my house shouldn't be such a big problem. No, it's a big problem. You took him without my permission. I will never forgive you for what you did to him. You'll be begging for mercy soon enough.
What? What are you going to do?
I'll leave it to the experts to deal with criminals, so you better get yourself ready. I can't deal with people like you. It's too much.
What expert? I'm not a criminal, okay? Hey, how dare you call the police on me? What do you think you're doing?
I did what I had to do after my son got kidnapped and was hurt. I have to report to the police.
Don't make me a criminal. I didn't do anything wrong. I don't know what the police thought after you called them. My house was suddenly surrounded by 3 police cars.
3? Wow, that must have been a shocking view. Sounds like a suspense movie. I bet your neighbors were very surprised to see that many police cars in front of your house. It's about time for supper. They must have been at home getting ready, so I bet they saw everything. I bet you're famous in the neighborhood now.
You wicked daughter-in-law. Now all my neighbors think I'm a criminal. They're misunderstanding everything because of you.
Misunderstanding? It's true that you were abusing my son, isn't it?
It all worsened when your son started making stuff up. He said I wasn't his grandma in front of everyone. Can you imagine the cold stares I got from the police? It took me so long until everyone finally believed me.
No wonder my son didn't want to call you his grandma.
No one would want an old hag like you to be their grandma. Did you just call me a hag? I heard you also came around my neighbors just to spread false rumors about me.
I'm the mother of the victim. I have to go there to pick my son up. Plus, I didn't spread any rumors. Your neighbors just overheard that I was telling the police.
You spoke in a loud voice on purpose, and you told lies to the police as well. You told them I abused him. When did I ever do that? Of course my neighbors would misunderstand me if you say it like that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was panicking back then. My son was just kidnapped. I don't remember what I said. I was about to lose my mind out of worry.
Liar! You remember everything you said.
I bet your neighbors are very worried. Turns out a kidnapper lives near the local elementary school. If I lived in your neighborhood, I would leave as soon as possible for the safety of my child.
You called the police and caused a scene just to spread bad rumors about me?
I didn't lie. I was just being honest. But reflecting back, I should have explained in more detail so I wouldn't cause any misunderstandings. The police brought me in for questioning.
Good thing I wasn't arrested. After what you've told them, I could have been sent to jail. But my neighbors still think I'm a criminal. How am I supposed to live here from now on?
Just look apologetic, I guess. If you're too scared of being judged by your neighbors, how about you just stay at home?
Stop playing around. You think you can run away from what you did?
What? I didn't do anything wrong, unlike you. It's you who did bad things and were called the police on. I just did what I had to do in response to what you did.
I did not do anything wrong. In the past, in the present, I never did anything wrong. I never had bad intentions. I always did what I thought would be good for you and your son.
How about when you tried to make me eat nuts?
I completely forgot that you were allergic to nuts, okay? And about the fish, it was all out of good intentions.
From my perspective, you looked like you were having the time of your life seeing me suffer. Everyone would agree you clearly looked like you were having fun.
You're making things up. You believe you're the victim while you're not. I told you so many times about my allergy. How can you forget about something so important? I'm getting old. I tend to forget things.
Okay, let's say that you actually forgot because of old age, but you can't justify what you did to my son.
Never, ever come near my son again.
You don't seem to realize your mistakes. How about I spread more rumors about you?
What rumor? What else are you planning to do? You're ruining my reputation.
How about I reveal about how you enjoy hurting people? I'll tell your neighbors about how ecstatic you feel when you see people in pain. You seem to enjoy seeing me in pain for the past few years. I'm telling the truth, am I not? And I can also tell everyone about what you've been doing to me.
All the awful things you've done to me. Your neighbors would definitely want to avoid you. Please, no, don't ever say that to the neighbors. I would no longer be able to live in this neighborhood. I'll have no other choice but to leave.
Yes, I bet. It's going to be so hard for an old person like you to lose their house at this age. Oh, I wonder what you would do if you no longer have a place to live in.
Hard? I can't survive if I leave this house. I'll have to live on the streets.
I'll be homeless and have no other choice but to roam the streets. I don't have enough money to buy a new house now. I don't have a job. You know how hard it is to rent a place at my age. No one would accept me.
But if I decide to spread more rumors and your reputation is ruined even more, you'll have no other choice but to find somewhere else to live. That'll be the end for you, don't you agree? You'll have to depend on someone, but would there be anyone to help you? Oh, are you thinking about your son? Do you still think he'll help you out after what you did to his son?
What do you mean?
I've told everything to my husband. He knows what you did to my son. When I first told him that Hector was missing, he was very, very worried. He was panicking just like how a father would react. When he found out you were the culprit, he was furious. I've never seen him so angry. My husband is on his way to your house. He said he wants to talk to you.
Okay, I'll apologize. I admit that I was wrong. I'm sorry. I'll apologize to my son, you, and your son as well. I'll apologize to my son in person when he visits me later today. How's that? Can you forgive me now?
It's up to you if you want to apologize to my husband. It's your choice. But let me make this clear. My husband isn't visiting you to make you apologize. He's visiting you to break relations with you. He no longer wants to be your son, I assume.
Break relations with me?
Yes. So I guess you'll have to go on with your life on your own from now on. We won't be looking after you when you get older and require aid or care. We're not related anymore. We don't want to inherit anything from you as well, so please don't worry. Spend all your money as you want for the rest of your life.
Please, listen to me. Eve, let me apologize for everything I did. Please don't break relations with me. Please tell my son not to do so. It's so hard to survive the cold stares from my neighbors. I can't get through this alone. It's too hard for me.
I see. Then how about you move? You can leave the past and start anew at a place where no one knows you. You won't know the people there, and they won't know you as well.
No, don't leave me alone!
You think you can do anything and be mean as much as you want to people you don't like. I think you're the type of person who gives the worst effects on young children like my son. You're old, it's too late to change who you are. So, I think it's best to separate my son from you. I want to make the best decisions for my son. It's part of my educational plan. You're the one who told me to take good care of my son so that he would grow up to be a decent adult, remember? After the incident, the neighbors got scared of her, and several of them stood up to kick her out of town for the safety of the children. When she was told to leave town by the leader of the city council, she was very shocked. She tried to convince the neighbors that it was all a misunderstanding, but it's an undeniable fact that she abused my son. The neighbors had caught her dragging my worn-out son out of the storage room the other day. I doubt they'll ever believe her again. To no surprise, she faced a lot of criticism from her neighbors. She got scared of the cold stares by her neighbors and barely leaves the house nowadays. A lot of her hair fell out and dark circles were under her eyes because of stress and lack of sleep. Her neighbors now describe her as a witch or ghost from her appearance. Little kids in the neighborhood think she lives in a haunted house and rarely go near it. But no matter how much criticism she receives, she continues to live there as if she's clinging to it for dear life. We've been told about the huge amount of criticism she's been receiving by her neighbors, but it's not our problem. We're no longer related to her. On the other hand, we're finally living in peace. Now that we've broken relations with her, it took some time for my son to heal from what he experienced at his grandmother's house, and we did everything we could to help him recover from the trauma. Now he's recovered and is back to his energetic self, but I know he now has a wound in his heart that would never heal. After we broke relations with her, my son told me that I also look happier and more energetic. I was trying my best to not take things too seriously, but I guess I was mentally hurt from what she's been doing to me. It is our motto to value our son's opinions at all times, and we will continue to do so in the future. We sincerely hope that he grows up to be an honest and kind adult.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.